Welcome back, Down the Line, episode 9, the best 10-minute sports show ever. I'm Trey Scott.
Ryan Pittman.
Let's get it started. First, before we talk about baseball, I got to throw it out there. New Sports hosting 7-on-7 showcase at John Paul, hosted by Team Copper, Terrence Copper. Check out the exclusive interview that we put out. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. I listened to it this morning. I mean, such a humble guy. You and I talked about it, but it's great to see what is happening not only just here in this community, but in Eastern North Carolina.
And when you look past the nice guy, real cool guy to talk to, you see a guy that's played for Bill Parcells, Sean Payton,
and it's funny.
Drew Brees. I
didn't realize, he had a 10-year NFL stint, and just
that's amazing.
When he was talking about it in the interview, I was here with the Cowboys. And then, I go to this team because of Todd Haley. I go to this team because of Sean Payton. That's pretty special.
Never burn your bridges.
Nope, never.
Never burn your bridges.
Never.
All right, Southside wins. Southside wins. Southside wins.
Repping the Blue Devils hat today.
Hey, man, big time. Hey, shout out to Southside. South Lenoir defeated North Lenoir 2-0. You and Chance were there. We're going to talk about that. How it was a great game? It was
a really good game. What we wanted, what we thought we were going to get with the environment down there. A lot of people showed up on the south side. It was a classic game. I would rank it up there with, that Greene Central North Lenoir game that we saw earlier in the season. Yeah, very similar. Yeah. But it was a great game, Trey.
We're going to definitely get into that. Greene Central sweeps Farmville on senior night.
I told you, light work.
and that was the two closest games of the year probably. Yeah. We had another one with South Central, but it was very intense. It got a little sweaty there at the end.
Oh, I'm sure.
Also, big night coming up Wednesday. What we got Wednesday?
We got the South Lenoir, North Lenoir softball.
Potential
championship matchup, for the championship, conference championship. It's going to be a great game. I'm kind of glad deep down that it got moved. Because, the baseball field was lit Friday night, and, now the girls are going to be showcased by themselves. So Wednesday night down south of the river, it's going to be a good matchup.
Before I start the timer, when we had the original South Side, South Lenoir is legit, not legit questioning going on, I texted some of my buddies who I got plenty of friends at South Lenoir, and
you got friends down there?
I got friends. Okay. Believe it or not, I got friends at South Lenoir. One of them told me, "Hey Trey, you didn't say nothing wrong."
Yeah.
But he also said, and he sent me the text. He sent me a screenshot after Friday night. He also said, "When we beat North Lenoir, you have to recant your statement. South Lenoir is legit." That's all I got to say. South Lenoir is legit, and there's no ands, buts, or nothing else behind it. Shout out Blue Devils. Let's get this show started. All right, big night at Greene Central. I'm going to start it off here. Greene Central defeats Farmville 5-3. Rams started off hot, got going. It was a good pitching duel for a little bit, but the Rams got a 3-0 lead. But Farmville came back, tied it up, and it got a little sweaty.
Well, and I think that's what we knew about Farmville Central. They weren't just going to lay down, in that game. They got some star power themselves, Trey Williford, Joe May. And, that was Friday night before the North Lenoir, South Lenoir. So I was keeping up with it too. And then talking to you, you were there, but it looked like it was a great game.
Man, it was a story-written game. If there's a script in the NFL, there's probably was a script in high school baseball last Friday
Are you writing
night.
that script?
Maybe, because it looked exactly what I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Came down, they tied it up 3-3, and one thing I saw was at the bottom of the top of the sixth, in between innings, Coach Brand pulled them together. And he didn't tell me this, but he told me in the post game, he said, I got a quote written, "I feel like we got a little bit timid. There's no reason for the Rams to get timid before this game. We were 19-0 before the game, and we were 19-0 because we were a good baseball team." And I just have a feeling that's what he told them. Yeah. And I feel like they got it together, they calmed down, and they got 6 seniors, and it was just, man. It came down to Brady Anderson getting on base, making something happen. Jordan Scott getting on base, making something happen. Then Braden Burris coming in and knocking both of them in.
Well, and that's kind of what we said, last week. How I felt that Greene Central was going to win. That bottom of the lineup, they do their job. They get on base, lineup turns, and that's exactly what you said. These seniors go 24-0 in their junior and senior year. That's special. But, I know a little bit of that 9-hole hitter for Greene Central. I know you want to talk about him. I mean, it's a special dude to you, but a special dude to that team.
Man, it's a special dude to me for sure. Man, it was a tough ride into senior night. I can't explain it. Never had that feeling before. I was like, man, am I going to my last baseball game? Even though it was nowhere near it. But looking past my dad aspect, being a dad, being a father, watching this kid play, grow up, if we're looking at the numbers and we're looking at the production, the kid's batting, Jordan Scott's batting .340 in the 9-hole hitter.
Yeah.
How many teams have a 9-hole hitter where they batting over 300?
I don't think not a lot of them. I mean, you look at the bottom of the lineup in most high school teams, and they're the kids who they're at the bottom of the lineup for a reason. Now we've talked to Coach Brandon said it before. He likes that spark. Jordan Scott could be the leadoff hitter for this team, but having him in the 9-hole is, I think it makes more of a difference. I don't know if they come back and beat Farmville Central if they don't have that like they did Friday night. So
I totally agree, and it goes right back to senior night, having 6 guys that's been there before.
Yeah, they've done it.
And I got to shout them out right quick. We'll go to the next one. Noah Azell, Cam Taylor, Jordan Scott, Brady Anderson, Austin Hardy, Braden Burrs. Like you said, 24-0 junior senior year in conference play. All right, now I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
North Lenoir, South Lenoir, what was it? Friday night.
Yep.
And I'm going to stop here. I gave my shout out to the South Lenoir, but I want to exit the conversation because you and Chance were there. I was at South Lenoir Greene Central. We're going to bring Chance in and let y'all talk about it right quick. Stop my timer, bring Chance in.
Welcome back. We got Chance Scott. Chance, you and I saw South Lenoir, North Lenoir Friday. It was a great game. Kind of what were your takeaways from that matchup?
If Tadpole throws like that in any game, South Lenoir is almost unbeatable. The play at third base, bases loaded. Garrett Bird hit a missile.
Yeah.
And Gabe Howard's at third, right?
I think that was right.
He did what every baseball coach wants a player to do. He got in front of the ball. He was either catching it or wearing it off the chest.
Yeah.
And that was probably the game-winning play for the Blue Devils, and Southside deserved that win.
Well, we were standing over there on the bleachers, and I was recording that play. I mean, 2 outs, bases loaded, Garrett Bird up. And when the ball got hit, I followed it right into the outfield, and then I just hear the South Lenoir fans cheering. I didn't realize he hit. I mean, that was a hard-hit ball. But pitching-wise, you talk about Tadpole. South Lenoir and North Lenoir, they both pitched really good games. Garrett Bird pitched a good game for North Lenoir. 3 hits allowed for both teams. But how did North Lenoir, give up those runs?
Just the plays behind the plate. Those balls have got to be blocked in a situation like the Hawks are in. You got to get down on your knees. You got to keep the ball in front of you, and it just wasn't Garrett Bird behind the plate. It was a guy that just hasn't had as much time and innings behind the plate, and it showed. It was 2 big mental errors, but the Hawks are going to bounce back from this. This is a good time to have those errors now instead of 2 weeks when it's the playoffs.
I agree 100% with you. Like we've talked about that game for South Lenoir. South Lenoir had more to gain from it than North Lenoir had to lose from it.
Yeah,
if that makes
very
sense.
Much sense. Yeah.
But it was good to see how. I know you wrote about an article. When was the last time that they won down, or just period against South Lenoir, or South Lenoir won against North Lenoir?
It was 2016, and you could definitely tell by the energy from the Blue Devils. Every kid, guys that were starting on the bench, the coaches, the fans, everybody was loving the energy, and it was a packed out crowd. And you can't ask for much more on the South Side.
Yeah, it felt like a playoff game, and I'm excited to really see what happens in next week really with the playoff start. You got anything else you want to add about it?
Not much. Tadpole, if you're listening, man, dude, 100+ pitches against your rival crosstown. You did your job. If you do this in the playoffs, you guys are making a long time run.
Well, this is the best sports show in Eastern North Carolina, so I know he's listening. But I told Trey this too. I know they call him Tadpole because his dad's called Frog. You might have to change Frog's name to Bullfrog and move Tadpole up to Frog.
Yeah,
because that performance Friday night,
he's earned a promotion.
That was a dog performance.
Yeah,
and
100+ pitches.
Yeah, congratulations to all the baseball team down there, and look forward to the playoffs.
I'm back. Here we go. All right, before we start about our third subject, I got to give shout-outs to all the coaches. I'm running out of episodes to wear hats. Ben Brand said, Trey, come by the field house. He made me come by. We did a fitting session and everything. Thank you, Coach Brand from Greene Central. Also, Bobby Hatcher, I got your gear. It's coming next episode. Thank you. All right, roll into it. North Lenoir versus South Lenoir softball, potential championship game. Both teams are 9-1. Both teams play Tuesday night.
Yep.
We're worried about the meeting. Is it South Lenoir has to go to Wallace?
Yeah, South Lenoir's playing Wallace is on Tuesday, so the night before. And this past week, North Lenoir was dead on the softball field. Played Wallace at home, and they were dead in the water until Alyssa Hatcher hit a 2-run home run to tie that ball game up in the 7th inning, and then she got the RBI in the 8th inning. Wallace Hill has a very good softball team. I mean, I want to see both of these teams, South Lenoir and North Lenoir, are 9-1 in the conference. I would love to see Wednesday night 10-1, 10-1, 10-1. But South Lenoir is a little bit banged up. So I mean, you have a little bit more insight on that.
Yeah, they are banged up, but the one thing I want to mention that both coaches don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Both
coaches.
We're going to bring it up. I mean,
for sure. We're going to. But I actually have talked to both coaches, and both coaches have said we want to give it all with our
because both of those coaches are no nonsense coaches.
That's right.
I mean, both of them are competitors. Both of them want to win. And if North Lenoir wins, they're not going to say, "Oh, well,
That's right.
We won because of this." And South Lenoir is not going to say that the other side too. So,
and then let's look at the history. This is a big game. North Lenoir got this close last time.
Yeah,
and from our records from Max Preps, it only goes back 22 games. And North Lenoir has lost 22 straight games against South Lenoir. South Lenoir has outscored North Lenoir before this year 245-20.
That's lopsided.
That's not a rival.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it. The boys, South Lenoir hadn't won, in 13 games, and they got their business taken care of Friday night.
I definitely want to take back the words I just said, because that is like the biggest rival here. South Lenoir. It definitely is a rival.
Yeah.
So let's jump more into it. South Lenoir wins if you want me to start. You want to go?
Yeah, you go ahead.
So I got South Lenoir wins if the seniors step up. I need the senior girls to step up. The Hawks are rolling. They're hungry. South Lenoir has more senior leadership. Both teams are young. Don't get me wrong. South Lenoir has more senior leaders that have been there and has been in the situation. They have to step up and put their fingerprint on this game. What do you think?
I think the Hawks win if the bats are hot. If the bats are hot for North Lenoir, I think the Hawks can come through and pull out this win for a championship. North Lenoir is 11-0 when they score at least 10 runs, 18-1 in the last 2 years when they score at least 10 runs. There's going to be some runs scored in this game, and I'm just excited to see the outcome Wednesday.
And I love that stat. We're at 10 minutes. I cannot stop the show here because I have to give my North Lenoir analyst, and we both do. I love that stat you just gave. And also, South Lenoir has allowed 10 runs at home twice in the past 2 years. Yep. That don't happen. So one of them's got to break. I'm not saying they're going to score 10, but I agree with you. The Hawks win if their bats are hot.
Yeah.
If the Hawks bats are hot, they win. Hawks are a great hitting team. I do think they can out-hit South Lenoir. However, South Lenoir has a little bit better pitching. Yep. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a great game. I believe in Coach Hatcher. I believe in Coach Harvey. I don't want to see neither team lose. What do you got for North Lenoir? If they win,
same thing. They got, obviously they score more runs than South Lenoir, but I do. I'm curious to see who comes out on the mound for South Lenoir. If the Hawks, are hitting Matty Rouse, Alyssa Hatcher, Miss Fowler, if they're all, getting their plate appearances, taking advantage of it, I think they'll take care of business and break this streak.
All right, there we go. We got a big night Wednesday night. We'll see y'all guys there. We're both going to be out there. There's nothing left to say. Now it's play ball.
Play ball.
Best 10-minute sports show ever down the line. This is Trey Scott.
Ryan Pittman.
See you next week.